ourselves up and active this morning. You might have to bear with me. I might be looking over this way quite a few times because my young one, unfortunately, is homesick today. She came home with a fever and she's had a rough night. Good morning. And so she is in recoup phase, it looks like. But she's definitely tired. She's definitely worn out because she's still slaying on the couch just watching TV. And she doesn't usually do that. Good morning, Andy. So, working with that. So I have a sick child at home today. So I'll be checking on her quite regularly. And I may even have to step out for a second or two depending on what she needs. But right now she's got fruit pack. She's got medicine in her, or going to be when she drinks her drink, and we're all good to go. So we're gonna do our thing, and we're gonna stay positive, and we're gonna get ourselves ready for the day. And again, this being now Thursday of the first week that the Gym Support Network channel has been active, this is also the last day that I am going to be here this week. Come Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, my next 3 lives, those morning get ready with me's, will be on my own personal channel. And if you haven't already followed that, that is Juno Aaron McKay here on YouTube. And over there, we will do things a little bit differently than what I do here. Over there, I will not just straight up be talking about a topic and just flowing with it and going with it like I have been. Over there, I will be showcasing my makeup looks, whatever it is that I'm working on. I do have 2 packages that have come in that I need to take a look at. I'll probably create some unboxing videos and stuff for that today for my own personal channel. So I've got a lot of content creating happening today. I've got stuff to do, not just here, but stuff to do with Gem. I have phone calls I have to make today in reference to my eldest son. I have, of course, a child that I have to care for throughout the day. And so I have a busy day today, which kind of leads me into today's topic. Discussing it with my team and the things that we do on a regular basis. Sometimes we have a whole list of things that we want to accomplish, that we need to accomplish, that we just need to start working on in order to get us to the next stage and next level that we're focused for. And as a team, how do you typically do that? When you have a lot of tasks on your board that you need to complete, how do you as a team prioritize and put that into an order of what to do first? What's second, what's third? What is it that we need to deal with? We have meetings. We get together, we talk, we communicate, we share knowledge and opinions as to what information this person has, and this person has pertaining to the projects. And so then we can determine and we can start to sort our day, our week, our month as to what me and my organization are up to and what we need to accomplish first before we can move on to this step or that step. Or if there's several things that can be done at the same time, what are those items? What things can all happen that myself or several other people can do in order to take care of it? We have meetings. We talk, we engage, we communicate, we share knowledge, and as a team, we work out the problem. We work through the solution, and we work through each individual task. But that's easy as a team. How do you equate that to life? How do you prioritize the stressors in your life, the things that you have to do, the missions you have to accomplish, the people you have to care for, what to care for them, how to care for them, what is it that we need to focus on, and what is it that we don't right now? That's a little bit harder. You don't necessarily have a whole team of people to assess that with and figure out exactly what it is you need to be doing first, second, third, fourth. What can wait? What needs to happen now? So we have to find ways of prioritizing our life. We have to find ways of organizing and sorting through the stresses, organizing and sorting through all the situations that we're dealing with in order to find the priority list of things to do and how we can take care of all of these individual things for ourselves. Now, that doesn't mean that you are 100% on your own with figuring this out. One thing that's very unique about my organization is that my organization is built off of love and trust and a group of people who want to spend time together. They want to engage with one another, even if it's just as simple as physically being present on the phone. We don't have to be even engaging. Sometimes we're just sitting there, each doing our own thing, and knowing that we have somebody that we can just all of a sudden turn to if we need something. That's how we operate. That's how this organization got started, and that's how this organization continues. We've had our struggles, but we still operate in that sense. We still operate in the fact that myself and 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 other people are all communicating at the same time, or at least being present with each other. Morning, Blue. And anybody else that I may have missed. Again, excuse me, I'm just on my last day for the Gem Network stuff, and then I can interact a little bit more with chat starting tomorrow on my channel. But anyway, back to priorities. So prioritizing your life. Again, how do you do that? Well, first thing you do is, of course, evaluate what is happening in your world right now. What is it that you need to take care of? You need to make yourself a list. You could do it up here if you can function that way. You can write it down. You can put it in your tablet for notes. Whatever the case may be, you need to find what it is that is going to grab your attention and allow you to refer back to it easily and not have to reorganize everything all the time. That's another downfall a lot of people have. They organize their world, they organize their life, and then they dishevel stuff, and then they feel like they have to reorganize everything every time they look. Let's not do that. We're just overwhelming ourselves. So let's put our lives in order. You don't have to do it everything all at once. You can do it in groups. What do you have happening in your life? You need to do this. You need to take care of that. You need to have this worked on. You have this situation happening that you may not even have any answers to how to take care of yet. But you put it down. You put it on your paper. You put it on your list of all the things that are happening. Everything. Do you need to go grocery shopping? Do you need to pay a bill? Do you need to reach out and talk to somebody? Do you need to have a social connection and interaction with a local friend, like a lunch or a dinner? Now again, that might even sound like it's not really a need. It might even sound like that's a want. Maybe it is. That's what it is. You're adding the things that you want to this list too. Because life is not only about doing the things that we need and we have to. Life is also about doing the things that we want so that we can live and be happy and engage in the things that we enjoy and not just focus on the things that we must have to survive. So add those to your list too. Add those to the list of things that you have going on in your life. I have this friend who likes to spend time with me in this particular situation, and I'd like to spend time with them, so let's put that down. I'd like to take my significant other out on a date for Valentine's Day. Let's put that on the list. If it's time constrained, that's okay. Let's put it on the list. I need to get laundry done, and I want to sit here and play my video game. Put it on the list. Now that we have our list in full, let's take a quick look at it. All the things that I mentioned, they're all over the place, aren't they? They go from everything from the things that we want to the things that we need to the things that we have to take care of right this second to the things that could possibly wait until another opportunity or time arises. Now we have this list. Let's sort it even more. We know what we've got going on in our lives. We're basically organizing our life right here. It's the same concept. Organizing, prioritizing, however you want to look at it. You're still putting everything in an order so that you can easily work and identify how to manage your time, manage your stress, and manage your own motivation and energy. We say all the time in here that you have to have self-care. You have to take care of yourself, or else you're not effective to anything or anyone else. Because if you can't be at your top game, you can't provide what you need to provide to the other tasks that you have. So we know self-care is on our list. And if it wasn't, add it to your list. You have to have that self-care. So now we have to also engage in where do we fit the important things, and where do we fit the least important things, and where do we fit the wants. This is the part where it's not just about you anymore. This is the part where you can reach out to your friends, reach out to your family, the people that help you every single day, every single week, every single month to get through life. You can sit down. Now that you have your list, not only is it easier for you to take a look at and see all the stuff that you got going on, but you can actually show that to somebody else and they can look at it and go, wow, look at everything you have happening in your life. And if you need help to organize it, they can help you. This is why support networks work. We communicate with each other and we talk about what's happening in our lives, and we help to prioritize. We help to organize the things that we're doing, how to do it, how to go about doing it, how to come out on the other side in the best possible outcome. That's a support network. So support networks are also organizing your life. They help you to do that. They help you not just to manage your emotions and your feelings. They don't just help you to find resources to get to this or that. They help you to organize your world around you so that you're not stumbling around in the dark, trying to figure out what to do next. Oh, you're welcome, Andy. I just got that message. Sometimes, remember, if you send me a chat, I'm not going to see it because I just can't see the chat here, but I can hear my commentary. But there is always going to be a delay, so just bear with us on that. But yes, thank you, Andy. You are absolutely welcome. Sometimes a message is meant for the time that you're seeing it. I get that a lot. My own messages will hit me at the right times, even though I made the message months ago, weeks ago, a year ago. Sometimes they pop up when you need them the most. That's what I love about my content. It's not only just me telling me about how to do these things. It's me reminding myself, and it's me helping to remind you as well. So let's go back to our list. Let's go back to the fact that we are now talking with our friend, our family, or if it's just you for right now, because your network isn't available yet, or your network is just, it's currently busy and it just needs time to get back to you. That's okay. Let's look at this list anyway. What is on this list? First, you want to identify the needs from the wants. That's first. So let's separate out what we need to do versus what we want to do. We need to buy groceries. We need to put gas in the car. We need to pay these bills. We need to pick up our medication. We need to get our children to school. Whatever it is. What is it that we need to do out of the list that you've already created? Do you need to do the research for that job interview that you were looking forward to? Do you need to clean something because it hasn't been cleaned, it's been neglected, and it's going to cause you stress later down the line? Needs, things that have to happen in order for you to continue doing what you do. And then there's the wants, the things that you'd like to do, the things that you would prefer to do, the things that you would enjoy doing. Now we have the wants over here. Now everybody knows priorities, needs outweigh wants. They're supposed to. You need to take care of these things. You want to take care of these things. How do we determine what's what and what's where? Now let's look at time. How much time is it going to take to do these things? Are we limited as to what times that we can physically do any of these things? Are we restricted into how much time we have to get the said things done? So now add time to your list. Each and everything down your list, add a time frame. When does it need to happen by? When can it happen? If it can't happen at any point in time, if you have to wait for certain specific time frames, when? When are those times? Put it down. How much time is it going to take care of this thing? Put it down. You may have one item on there that says you can only do it between 8 and 5 because that's the only time that place is open, and it is a high-end priority. You have to have it done by tomorrow, and it may even have a timeline deadline that it's going to take you 2 or 3 hours to complete said project. You may have 3 sets of different time for one task. Those are what we call our bigger stressors. Those are the biggest stresses. The things that we are time limited on, the things that we are limited as to how we can engage with it, and the things that we have only so much that we can dedicate to that time. Now look at our list of all, after we've timed everything. What's the important thing? What's the most important thing on the list? Let's look at things that have to happen by certain times. Do you have something that's due today, due tomorrow, due the next day? Do you have something that has to be taken care of this week, next week, or the week after that? One thing we mistake a lot is when we start looking at time and all the tasks that we have, especially when we don't write them down, we get overwhelmed by it because all we can see is the mass pile of stuff. And we can't easily look at it and tell what to pull first, what to pull second, so that we can get this pile out of the way. That's why we're doing this right now. That's why we're organizing the chaos. We're organizing the turmoil, the stress that is happening in your life, so that you can take a better look at it. You can have a clearer picture of what is going on. Once you have your time listed on your sheets or on your list, you can now see better what's more important. And again, don't forget your want list. Your want list is still there. We put time on our want list too. Remember? I want to take so-and-so out for a Valentine's Day date. That's time limited, isn't it? It's meant to be during a certain period of time. The things that you want to do may rely on restaurants being open or closed, or theaters being playing the right whatever at the time. Whatever it is that you're planning on doing, you have to time and plan all that out. But that is a want. That is not a need. You want to spend time with your significant other in that way. in that way. The need is to spend time with your significant other. The want is spending time with them in a extravagant date. And now you sit and we're going to only focus on this for right now, just to kind of give you an example of how you prioritize these things. What happens if something goes wrong on the priority list? What happens if something took longer than expected? What happens when you can't find the things that you need to find in order to make the date happen, like a babysitter? Sometimes we have to cancel our plans. Sometimes we have to stop and rearrange our list. And sometimes we have to decide that, yes, I want to do it this way, but I can still satisfy the need for spending time with my spouse by adapting the schedule, adapting the plan to something smaller or something a little different. And it's easier to do that now that we know more and more. The more you do and work on something, the more you learn about it and the more you can adapt and adjust. Let's say you were planning that Valentine's trip and that Valentine's date for an entire solid month. And then the week that came up that it was time to do it, you got sick. Unforeseen event. Can't help it. Could not control that from happening. So, your plans have to change. Your plans have to adapt. Your plans have to adjust. You have to look at your list and reprioritize. Reorganize all the chaos of your world. But you already started it, so it's easier to do. I can move this down here, move this up here. I can move this over here if I need to. This has no longer become a need, and it's no longer time constrained, so I can move it further down the list or over to this other side. You and you alone have the ability to control the direction your life takes. You may be affected by unforeseen events. You may be affected by people that you have no control over. But no one controls how you organize and prioritize your life. Nobody else in the world can dictate the directions that you take for your own happiness and your own priorities. And in just a moment, I don't see the bug. I'm gonna go check on her real quick. Okay, she just moved to the other side of the couch. Priorities. She takes a higher precedence and a higher priority over this in my life. So occasionally, I have to step away from the things that I like and the things that I want to do the things that I have to and the things that I need. That's making those choices, mature, appropriate, adult decisions that we've all had to learn as time has gone on. And some of us do better than others. Some of us still struggle. And some of us have our act together, it seems. But do they really? Is there still not stuff that's happening behind them that they don't have organized, that they don't have figured out, but they have their act together enough that's not, you don't see those stressors because they are prioritizing their life. They are working on the things that they can work on, focusing on the things that they can focus on when they need to focus on them, and not worrying themselves about the stuff that they can't take care of yet. Lists are daunting. Our task list for our day-to-day needs is huge. Even if you have a very simple life, you still have a number of things that you have to do, a number of things that you want to do, and a number of things that you just don't know if you're ever going to have the time for. But you're never going to know until you organize it. You're never going to figure it out unless you put it down into paper and in a way that you can see. Sorry, my lamp here isn't, there it is. Sorry, my lamp wasn't lighting up. So let's do that today. Whether you've been following along with me up to this point or not, let's make that decision today. Let's prioritize what's happening in your life. Do you have a medical condition that needs to be taken care of? Is it something that you can take care of today, tomorrow, the next day? Is it something that you have to wait for the next doctor's appointment? Is there anything having to do with what medical situation and condition you happen to be in today? Is there anything that you can do about it right this second? This is how you determine your list, how you understand what needs to happen first, second, third. And that's where your focus is. You can never complete a task if you cannot focus on said task to get it done. And if it's not something that you can physically advance right now, like you can't make yourself instantly feel better by taking this one medication, like you can't instantly cause healthiness at the snap of a finger because you did this one specific procedure that didn't require anybody else? Or do you have to wait? Is there something happening? Did you already take the medicine and you have to wait for the medicine to work? Did you already have the test done and you have to wait for the results? Did you already have that consult with the doctor and the doctor is still doing a little research to find an answer? This is a deal. This is a task that needs to take care of. You need to get yourself healthy. But you can't do it right now. There's nothing that you can do about this particular task, this particular moment. So why are we gonna let it stress ourselves? Why are we gonna let the thought and the idea and the understanding of what's happening with that situation affect how we do the next thing and the next thing and the next thing that we're doing? Yeah, scary. I agree. Not discounting the fact that whatever the situation is probably scary, that whatever the situation is probably has very drastic results if not taken care of. But if there's nothing that we can do for it right now, we don't want to spend the rest of our days struggling and fighting. We don't want to spend the rest of our days in pain, mental pain, because we can't fix something that we want to fix. Let's spend our days more productively. Life isn't over. As long as you can live, as long as you're breathing, as long as you have function, as long as you have energy, you're still alive. You're living your life right now. So let's continue to live our lives. Stress has a way of stopping us dead in our tracks in life. It's almost like you're walking along the paths and you finally get to a station and then you just stand and you're waiting. For what? For the train? You're waiting for something to happen? You're not doing anything else, you're just waiting. So why are we stressing? There's nothing else we can do but wait. So what do you do when you wait for the train, or you wait for the bus, or you wait for the person to come pick you up? You've got all your stuff ready to go. You're ready to do the next step, but you're waiting. What do? Let's fill that time with something else. Let's fill that time with something that distracts us from that problem. Let's fill our time with something that we enjoy. Or let's fill that time with something else that we need to get done. That's why we have our list. That's why we have our ability to organize our own lives and decide what is most important, what's least important, what comes first, what comes second. Let's not worry about what we can't control. Let's not worry about what we can't fix right now. Let's worry about something that we can. Are you going to make it to that doctor's appointment that's 4 weeks from now if you don't buy your groceries? If you don't go to work? If you don't pick yourself up every single day and take care of the next thing on that list? This is how we prioritize the chaos. How you organize your life so that you can be the most functioning person you can possibly be. And you can make decisions when you need to make decisions. That's why we do that. Think about all the times you have been faced with a decision and you have gotten yourself so stressed and so worked up that you can't even function to make an appropriate decision. I bet most of you have done that quite a bit. I bet most of you have experienced that to a level that feels like you have been crippled or shut down. Now nothing's happening. Now nothing's getting done because that stress overwhelmed you. You can't function, you can't make right decisions, you don't know how to decide what to do because you have already overworked and overstressed yourself over that situation during a time that you couldn't do anything with it. So let's distract ourselves. Let's fill our mind with something that we can control right now. Do we need to fix that? Do we need to take care of the laundry? Let's do that. Do we need to clean the house? Let's do that. Do we need to go see our friends? Kind of a need. Engaging with the people that you love, it's a need. When to do it, how to do it, and the best way to go about doing it, those are the wants. Let's shift our gears now to the wants in our lives. We've talked very heavily about the things that we need. But what about the things that we want? How do we fit the things that we want into our lives and not overwhelm and overtake the things that we need? You fill in the blank. You look at your priority list. You look at the things that you need and have to take care of. And now that you have times on all of those, you also know when you have to take care of them, how much time you have to do it, and when it has to be done by. So what about all the space in between? Sometimes it's not much, I agree. Sometimes that need in that priority list is so big and so heavy that you can't even possibly think of where you could fit in something that you need, that you want for yourself. Well, if that's the case, let's go back to our need list. We're now going to focus and adjust our need list so that we can fit in a few of our want list. Because if you can't fit in the things that you want in life, all you're doing is stress, 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 stress. When's the chance to relieve it? When's the chance to relax? When's the chance to take a break? You have to have those. You cannot work yourself to death trying to take care of the things that you need, because you have to have happiness in your life in order to keep that energy. You have to have positive things occur around you in order for you to have that motivation to finish the things you need. This is where the balance comes in. Balancing your life. You need to take care of yourself. And how do you take care of yourself? By doing the things that you want. That's self-care. People call it thousands of different things. This is my me time. I'm going to go to my he shed, she shed, whatever it is. I'm going to go and spend time with my friends. These are you times. Times designed, meant specifically to help you be you. Be your authentic self, so that you have the energy and the clear-headed focus to do the things that you need. We all know that if we're not rested, we struggle the next day at work. We all know that if we don't take a break at work once in a while, we start to resent work. We start to hate it. We get overwhelmed. We get tired, and we stop making good decisions. We have to do the same thing with our mental health. We have to do the same things with our lives. We have to take those breaks. We have to take those moments in order for us to maintain the energy that we need to keep moving forward, to keep taking care of that unorganized chaos that comes our way. So you fit your wants into the blank spaces. I can't take care of this right now, but I have to wait right now. Is there anything else I can fill this time with? Do I need to fill it with another need? How many times have you done that? Did you fill the last 4 or 5 times with needs? How about this time you fill it with a want? There's nothing wrong with filling your time with something you want within moderation. If you feel the time that you want and it overweighs your needs, we need to reorganize. Because we're not getting anything done. We're not advancing, we're not moving forward. We're standstill. Are we spending all our time doing the things we need and nothing of the things we want? Well, now our needs are slowing down. We're making progress, but it's wearing on us. It's tearing us down. It's making us struggle. We have to find balance. We have to find out how to do things that we want combined with the things that we need to allow us to stay happy, healthy, motivated, positive, engaged with life. Filling our lives with things that we want to fulfill the need for self-care can be as simple as what I do in doing my makeup every day, sharing messages, sharing conversation with people. I want you guys to know and realize that I don't have my life 100% together. I don't have everything where I want it to be. Everything doesn't fall into place for me, just like it doesn't fall into place for you all the time. I have to prioritize my life. I have to understand when it's a time to panic, when it's a time to be strong, when it's a time to be calm. You manage your stress. You manage the things that are happening around you so that you can be functional when you need to be functional. They're hard to do, but nobody said you had to do it alone. It's hard to figure out, but nobody said you had to be a genius. When you need help, you reach out. When you can't figure it out, you ask questions. When you don't know what to do, you find help. Or else you're lost. You're wandering in that darkness all by yourself, looking for a light switch that might not really be there. You might be on the wrong side of the room. So ask for help. Look towards other people. It is okay. You do not have to do it all by yourself. There are things that you have to do because nobody can do them for you. But you don't have to do it by yourself. And on a more direct and harsher note, you may have to be the one to take that first step, but you're also the one that has to take the second, third, fourth, and fifth steps. You have to take every step you take in life. Nobody else can do it for you. And I know that gets hard. I know that gets difficult. I know that gets daunting. But you don't have to do it by yourself. You can have somebody walking beside you, walking with you. You can have somebody ahead helping to lead the way. They guide you. Because when you get to the end of this path of life, no one's going to be holding a medal because you made it there first. No one's going to be giving you a limited edition prize because you just happened to get there before the people around you. We can all arrive at the same time to the same situation and revel in it together. Be proud of ourselves together that we made it this far. Be proud of all the accomplishments that we have taken care of because we relied on each other. We helped each other to fix our lists, to prioritize our chaos, and to get the things done that need to get done when they have to get done. I had a conversation yesterday with my pastor about things that were happening in my life and some of the experiences that I had recently gone through that were very, very overwhelming and very, very hard to deal with. But I spoke with my pastor, explaining to her that I knew I had to go through those. I had to deal with what happened in the manner that I handled it. Because not only was it necessary for me to do for myself, it was necessary for someone else in my life. That person needed me too. And it took me going through a large emotional tumble and build up in order to get through it with them. But we did it. We accomplished that. And no, Is the problem solved? Absolutely not. But we dealt with the problem together. And now both individuals have a better chance and a better opportunity to pick up our feet and continue forward. Life happens. Life happens fast, but that doesn't mean that you have to engage with it fast. Things happen at the drop of a dime around you, but that doesn't mean you have to reach down and pick up that dime immediately. Sometimes you just have to let that dime roll so that you can see where it ends up, so that now you can walk over and pick it up confidently, knowing that you're not going to be chasing it. And then you pick up that dime, and then you add that dime to your pocket of change. And now you decide when to address that dime. Does it need to be spent now? Does it need to be spent later? Is that the dime you needed right this minute? Or is it the dime that you were looking for earlier when you needed it most? We prioritize it. We fit it in our lists. We decide when to use it. You have to think of your life in the same sense. Your life comes at you at random moments. Sometimes it is freely spinning on its own and you can't seem to stop it. So let's stop trying to stop it. Why don't we shift our focus to what we can control until the things that we can't control become available? So many of us make that mistake. We make the mistake of thinking that because we have been presented with this problem and presented with this situation, that it has to be taken care of now. Why? Is it something that fits in your list? Where does it fit in your list? You do it at work. I can't do this job right now, I'm doing this job. I can't take care of that piece of paper right now, I'm dealing with this stack of paper. So why can't you do that with life? I can't take care of this situation right now. I'm not going to stress about it. It's over here, ready for me to engage with when I'm available. But right now, I'm doing this project. I'm doing this task. Right now, I am in my scheduled me time, and that new priority, that new need that showed up, can wait until I fit it in. Right now, I'm doing something that I want. Sometimes a need takes over and I have to take care of it right away. Sometimes a need shows up and it's not something I have to deal with right this second, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm gonna stick it in my list and see where I can do it and when I can do it, and then I can focus on it and I can deal with it. Think about the people around you that seem like they've got their act together. Think about the people around you that seem like everything just seems to be going right for them right now. I want you to think about the fact is, are they a very organized individual? Do they always have a sense of direction? They know where they're going next. They know what they have time for. They know when they can have availability for this or that. It's a good clue. Usually people who have everything going good for them and they at least look good on the outside as to how their life is managing is because they are managing their life. It might not be the best organization, but it is some organization. It might not be the perfect list, but it is a list that they can use and function, and it balances for them. Their list isn't going to work for you. Your neighbor's list of how they do things, when they do things, and what they take care of first isn't going to work for you. because it's not your list. It's not your needs, your wants, your times that you have put down. It's theirs. Don't try to match your list to somebody else's list. If you can work it out in your schedules, that what they need done and what you need done can happen at the same time, that's great. But do not rearrange your life just because it doesn't work for this person over here. They already have their life together. They already have decided what they're going to do with this time, and this time. But you struggle with yours. So you need to organize yours. You need to keep track of yours. And if it's not something that you can deal with right now, then guess what? They are going to have to readjust and readapt their list because it's not the right time. And I know we've talked about time a few times here with this message, with this particular topic. We've talked about how much time, when we can do it, what the deadline is, all that jazz. Sometimes those times change. Sometimes the when we can do it section is blank because we don't know. We don't know when we can have this time to do this particular task. So again, it might be important. It might be really high on the needs to get done list, but you don't have the time that you know you can get it done in. So what do? You reach out. There's that word again. That phrase, reach out, speak to somebody, ask for help, make contact, communicate, so that you and whoever else or whatever else it is that you're waiting on can find a way to fit it in your schedules, to fit it in your lives. What we're talking about today is literally just organizing your mind. That's what it really is. Organizing your thoughts, organizing your actions, organizing your world. It doesn't have to be perfect, because nothing in this world is perfect. It doesn't have to be the best, because there can only be one number one. Somebody has to be number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Somebody has to come in 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. And whereas you might enjoy being first one done, being first one to get it figured out, being first one to the finish line, sometimes there's a tie. Sometimes you have to arrive as a group, as a team, because you wouldn't have finished otherwise. There is nothing wrong with that. We each have our own skills, our own abilities, our own ways of understanding what is happening and how to handle it. And when we don't know how to do something, we have to either ask or find out how to learn. Have you noticed something about many of my messages? They're very, very simple and easy to do. They're very, very simplified. And they're probably something you've heard before, just not in as much detail or depth. It's because a lot of the things that we do to take care of ourselves, a lot of the things that we do to manage our lives, a lot of the things that we do to move to the next step is stuff we learned at an early age. stuff that we were being taught or should have been taught. I understand in some cases people just weren't taught how to do that. And again, that's why diversity is so key. We are all unique. We are all independent individuals of each other. Because not only did we grow up in different situations, or even if we grew up in the same situation, we still interpreted it differently. We saw it differently. It affected us differently. So what I know and what you know isn't going to be the same. How I feel and how you feel isn't going to be the same. But that doesn't mean that we can't achieve the same goals. We can't achieve the same tasks, that we can't reach the finish line at the same time. And in order to make that happen, you have to prioritize your life. You have to make sure that you are stressing about the things that need to be stressed about right now, and not filling your head with all the things that you can't do anything about yet. It will all be taken care of in time. You will eventually find the solution. You will ultimately get the answers that you're looking for. Someone will become available as long as you keep looking. Organize your lives. Organize your stresses. Organize your wants and your needs. Because until you do that, you're going to be spinning out of control. You're going to be bouncing around back and forth amongst your priorities like a ping pong ball. Anyone who's ever dropped a ping pong ball or ever played with ping pong ball knows that there's no way of telling which direction it's going to bounce. You can try to direct it, but again, you have to get everything just right to get it to land just right. So again, there's no telling where it could end up until it does. Why would you want to live like that? Why would you prefer living in a way where you have no idea where you're going to end up, when you could at least try to give your life direction? You can try to give your life control, but you can only do it with what you physically can control. This is how I stay positive. This is how I can find something good out of bad situations. My head is clear most of the time. I'm able to focus and see the problem for what it is. I'm able to take a look and decide, is this important enough to put everything else in my life aside? Do I need to focus on this right now? And if I don't, then I need to refocus my thoughts and refocus my attention to what does. Because dwelling on something that isn't ready, waiting for an answer that isn't even ready to come to you yet, is just a waste of a life that could be happier, that could be more efficient, more effective. I'm not saying don't worry. By all means. Worry's a natural feeling. A worry gives us a sense of urgency. Worry gives us a sense of importance. But you can't let worrying shut you down. Because too much worry will definitely do that. Worry is a heavy feeling. Worry is probably, if you want to put it into terms of weight, one of the heaviest feelings there is. Worry. Worry creates stress. Worry's good in small doses. But when it's more and more and more, it gets heavy. Think of paper. Think of worry like paper. This piece of paper right here, this one piece of paper, easy. I can manage it. I can deal with it. I can do what I need to with it. I can manipulate it. But the more pieces of paper you put together, they get heavier and heavier. Have you ever picked up a ream of paper just this thick? How heavy is that ream of paper? Paper! The thing that you can hold in your hand and fling around and do nothing with. You toss it up in the air and it just floats around. You can't do that with a ream of paper. You toss a ream of paper in the air, it's gonna go thump. It's heavy. That's worry. Envision that as worry. The more you're worrying, the more worry you're carrying with you, the heavier it is on you. The harder it's going to be to get it to manipulate and function and do what you want. You ever bend a whole stack of paper? It's not very bendable, is it? You can't manipulate it like you can a single piece. Worry is also very fragile. When you stop worrying about something, life is easier. Let's take this one piece of worry, and I don't have a piece of paper, I have this plastic, but let's take this one piece of worry right here and let's get rid of it. Easy, right? Let's take this whole stack of worry right here and let's deal with it. You can't rip it near as easy, can you? Because it's heavy, it's hard, it's tough. We have to manage our lives to reduce our worry. We have to manage our lives to reduce our stress. We have to manage our lives to reduce our shutdowns, to reduce our breakdowns, to reduce the chances that we stop dead in our tracks and can't take another step. What does too much worry do? What does it create? It creates depression. What happens when people are depressed? They don't have the motivation to do the simplest things. Notice how all of these feelings, all of these situations, all flow into each other. That's life. So unless we can manage it, life gets away from us. Life becomes a struggle. Life shuts us down and makes us non-functional. And anyone who is anyone, who wants to be anyone, who strives to accomplish anything, can see if you don't organize the things that are happening around you, your life gets out of control. And you stop. You slow down. You become unfunctional. You become unable to do the things that you need to do. And you become unable to do the things that you want to do. I'm going to let this sink in for a minute. Prioritize your life. Organize the chaos. Put it in a physical format that you can look at and share. Think about how many times you've tried to share what is happening in your life. How hard is it? One, you got to think of all the details. You've got to figure it all out, right? Let them know. Secondly, you have to articulate it in a way that that individual can understand. You have to be able to organize the way you present the situation or your life issues to someone so that they can help you organize it. And you know how much easier it is when you have everything right here, right? Look, this is it right here. This is all the things I am organizing in my life. Here, take a look. I'm having a problem here, right here with this segment. What do I do here? Oh, have I done this? Well, yes, I did that here. Oh, have I done that? Oh, yeah, I did that right over here. Oh, I didn't know I needed to do that too. Well, let me add it to my list so that I can take care of that. Now this might become available and helpful. Thank you. But you would have not known that had you kept it to yourself. You would have not known that had you let your worry build and build and build. You would not have learned that answer if you had just kept it to yourself. Had you not prioritized it, had you not explained it in a way that someone else understands for them to be able to help you, if they could. I'm not telling you you have to run out and grab a schedule like I do. I'm not telling you you have to write your entire life down on paper. What I'm expressing to you is to put it in a format that is easy for you. And I'm going to tell you right now, we have enough stuff happening up here in our heads that it's too easy for schedules and prioritizing our lives to get jumbled. Let's find another way of doing it. Make a chart. Put it in your computer. Make a journal. Journals are a great way to put your thoughts and your feelings and your life into perspective, into priority. Or do what I do. Get you a schedule. Write in it. Use it. Engage with it. Let it help you keep your life straight. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh no. Okay. Give me a minute. What do you want? What do you want? Here you go. I'll be out in just a minute. I am almost done, okay? Yeah. I know. I know you don't feel good. Prioritize your life. Put the chaos in order. Sort it. Rearrange it to make it better work for you. And when those times open up, and that time has come for you to deal with this situation here or there that you wanted to worry yourself about before, when that time comes, now that you have prioritized, now that you have organized, now that you have put your focus in the things that need to be focused on, when you can focus on them, your head is clearer, your mind is more functional, you can make better decisions faster, and life's stresses aren't as big as they seemed. Life's issues are not as daunting as they once looked. You get to the other side and you look back and you go, wow, that was easier than I anticipated. I didn't realize that doing this way would have resulted in this solution, in this result. And it was easy. Easier than I thought. You come out happier. You come out healthier. You come out better, more educated, more confident, more sure of yourself. That when the next time something like that happens, you now have that experience. You have that knowledge. You have that ability to get through it because you've already done it once before. When you have that friend or neighbor or anybody in your network that comes to you and says, hey, I need help here. I don't know what to do. You have now an answer for them. Even if you don't have a clue of how to help somebody, how to work through the issue that they're having, how to provide them support. You now have a tool in your box that you can use. Ask them to sit down with you. Ask them to prioritize with you their life. Help them prioritize their life. They have to do it, but you can help. Anybody can help to sit down, put stuff on paper, type stuff into a computer so that they can all see it together. So that now, when you make that suggestion or they tell you what's happening, you can see and maybe a solution will pop out. Maybe they already have the solution right there. It's staring them in the face and they can't see it because they haven't prioritized. And then they put it all down because you helped them. You supported them by giving them the understanding of this tool. And it is a great tool. Organizing your life. To give you balance. To center yourself. To keep your clarity. It's an amazing tool. It's an amazing tool to use for yourself. It's an amazing tool to use for the people around you in need that you want to help. And if you don't understand something, we can now point it out and say, hey, we don't have enough information for this. We don't know what this means. Now we can reprioritize into what directions we need to go. You can't take care of this right now. You have to focus elsewhere for right now. And then when this becomes available for us to work on, then we can do it together. Now that I know that that's what you're having and that's what you're dealing with and that's what the situation is, I've helped you prioritize it, and now I can help you take care of it because now we're in it together. I can support you more because I'm familiar with the situation. I'm familiar with the tasks at hand. I'm familiar with what you have time for and what you don't. And I've helped you to figure out when we can take care of it, when it's time to worry, when we have time to take our stack of worry and we get rid of this piece and that piece and this piece and that piece, one at a time. Pick them up, tear them up. We're done with that. Move it over here. And eventually your stack will get smaller and smaller and smaller. And then the worry, the stress, the trouble parts of life don't feel anywhere near as heavy as they once did. Thank you so much for listening to me today. Thank you for getting ready with me, for listening to my message. I hope that the things that I speak about help you in some way. I hope that the information that I provide solely through my own personal experiences and the experiences of others that they have shared with me has helped you today in some small way. Even if it's just been a place for you to sit and listen and feel comforted knowing that you're not all by yourself. Have yourselves an amazing day today. Organize your lives. Always be your authentic selves. And I will see you tomorrow on my channel.